doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
Got it. There it is. Got it.
Did you say something?
No, I just said got it. Okay. 5 minutes. We'll start right at 10. And Brent is the young person in the blue shirt. Haven't seen him beside you. He's going to present the senator. He's the chair of the board. Hopefully he'll follow your motto standing in the front, but if he doesn't, wherever he stands, it works. You know, at this point, I don't, just get this over with. Let's just do it. soon as Brent comes up here, we're ready to start. So as you all can tell, there's no media here. Surprise, surprise, this is Wichita. So, but we're going to have a good time this morning, and we're going to whoop and holler and cheer later on when the announcements are made. So, but we're going to go ahead and get started. Brent's going to be joining us here from the center in just a second, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So, thank you all for coming today and being part of this. Huh? There you go. There you go. Now we can. Sorry. So I want to thank you all for coming this morning. I really do appreciate you taking time out of your work days and your family time and everything to be here. I was going to introduce myself, but I don't think I need to do that. But anyway, it really is an exciting time, I think, for all of us that are in this room this morning. I want to start off by just introducing the rest of the speakers this morning. And we've had a substitute in that our moderator here at Pine Valley could not be here this morning, Dave Roy, because he is not feeling well. So Greg Yarnell, our treasurer, has very kindly stepped in, and he will be presenting the check from Pine Valley. And sitting next to Greg is Brent Kennedy, and Brent is the chair of the Center of Wichita Board. So Brent, we're very glad you're here this morning. And joining Brent is also Nolan Christensen, who's the treasurer for the center. And they will have a very exciting thing to present also later on. And then over on my right is Finn Lanning, who's the director of Camp Sunflower, which I think everybody in here has met at some point. And next to him, you also know Jackie Carter, who's chair of the Camp Sunflower Board. And we're very, very pleased that both of you are here today, and I think you're going to leave here feeling pretty good after this morning. We have some exciting news to share with you, which will help us, because sometimes the news isn't always very good. So anyway, I also want to recognize, I know there are several members of our planning task force. In fact, I think the entire planning task force is here this morning, that worked for several months to plan the spaghetti dinner. So if you were on the planning task force at Pine Valley here, would you all just stand up for a second so we can see who worked on that? Judy, that includes you. Up. And then we've got Phil and Linda also at the back. So these are the people who actually planned and put together everything for the dinner. So thank you all very much. We appreciate it. So I wanted to give just a very brief history of Camp Sunflower, and this is going to be very, very condensed. So all of you who have worked on this from the beginning, please don't panic if I leave, because I can't talk for 2 hours on Camp Sunflower. This is very condensed. Actually, the conversation started back in 2015 when about the need for a camp here to serve the LGBTQIA+ community. And that started in 2015 with just a small group of people. And then in 2016, the Mission Council here at Pine Valley actually said, okay, we're going to go forward with this. This needs to be done. And they actually raised and gave $5,300 of seed money to start the camp. So that's where the seed money came from. And in 2017, that was when the board, the Camp Sunflower Board, was actually established. I think it has changed over the years of membership, but it actually began then. And in 2018 was the very first camp. And it had 15 high school campers that attended that very first camp. And then in 2019, they actually obtained their 501c3 status, which of course helped dramatically in the fundraising and so forth. Moving forward to 2023, skipped a few years there, the camp expanded to include middle school kids, and they also started their counselor in training program. And how many counselors in training did you have that last year? Do you remember? About 10? About 10 counselors in training participated. And then also in 2023, just a year ago, which seems like a long time ago, that was when we held our first spaghetti dinner fundraiser for Camp Sunflower, and we raised right around $6,000 at that particular dinner. This year, the camp is anticipating 100 middle and high school campers, which my understanding will be their maximum, right? And they can't. That's because of the size of the camp. They won't be able to take over 100, but they plan on having 100 kids there this year. So you think about 15 in 2018 and 100 in 2023. That's something to whoop and holler about, you all. Whoop and holler. Yes. That's exciting stuff. So I had to ask myself the question, well, why Camp Sunflower? Why is it so important? Well, it's more important than it ever was, even back in 2018. All you have to do is look at the 24 states who have passed legislation impacting the LGBTQ youth, but specifically targeting transgender youth. 24 states have passed legislation now. They have denied health care. They have denied the use of pronouns. They have denied athletics. They have denied all rights. In my personal opinion, they're trying to literally eradicate, ignore this group of young people. Some of us here today have a family member or a strong connection to someone who identifies as part of the LGBTQ community. We know that according to the Trevor Project 2023 survey, 41% of LGBTQ young people seriously considered attempting suicide during that year. 41%. 56% of LGBTQ young people who wanted mental health care in that year were not able to get it. Think about that. 41% contemplated attempting suicide in 1 year. As allies, those of us here today knew that we needed to provide a safe and affirming place for LGBT youth to go, a place where they would be seen and heard and could be themselves. Camp Sunflower is such a place. I'm going to get through this. I can do this. This is, as you all know, this is deeply personal to Phil and me. The camp's website says it best, and this is from their website. Camp Sunflower is a place where everyone is encouraged to come as you are, and where we accept and love each other for the things that we share and for our many differences. That's what Camp Sunflower is all about. Which brings us to today and this year's Spaghetti Dinner fundraiser. It took a lot of people to make this year's dinner a success. We had over 75 volunteers, some of which are here today, representing our sponsors. And I want to recognize our sponsors now, and they're listed over here on this chart here. And I know we have representatives from some of these places. Calvary United Methodist Church, which allowed us to host it at their site. Church Women United, Riverside Disciples of Christ Church, and I know we have several members here from Riverside this morning. University Congregational Church, and Wichita Church Women United were all the groups that provided volunteers for us, and in some instances also contributed some of the food. In addition, we received support, you all, from over 80 merchants and restaurants who contributed food or silent auction items. And I really hope that before you leave today, you will look at these 4 charts over here with all their logos on them. Every one of those places either gave us money, gave us a silent auction item, or provided food. That is a remarkable, affirming experience here in this city. It really is. And there were more that wanted to but couldn't because their budget had already been spent for this year. So there will be more up there next year. Maybe there will be 8 charts up there instead of just 4. Got it, Phil? Did you get that? He didn't hear me. That's all right. Anyway, we also want to thank KMUW, who is our media sponsor, and iHeartRadio and KWCH, which also helped promote it, and the Devon James Law Firm for their support. And of course, we also include the Center of Wichita, which you're going to hear more from later on. All of those organizations also helped out too by providing resources and or media action. Now that's enough for me. So now we're going to talk about the exciting reason why we're all really here this morning. And we're going to begin with the Pine Valley check. And so I'm going to invite Greg and Jackie, if you'd come up here and stand in front. And Greg has a little presentation to give to you, Jackie.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'd like to present to you this check for $12,400. This represents the income from the spaghetti dinner and some donations, as well as the silent auction. And we here at Pine Valley look forward to supporting your organization in the years to come.
Thank you. That's an expensive little thing. I want to make sure we all have plenty of time to look at it. So the first thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you to every single one of you. To the people that volunteered or found volunteers or coerced volunteers or voluntold people to help. That's all important, and I understand what that takes, okay? Anybody that has spent most of their life in 501c3 organizations knows what it means to try to raise money, and to raise money of this magnitude, and especially to raise money for queer kids, to be able to do something, because they don't matter, right, in so many people's minds. And this group of people found many folks who said the queer kids do matter. They matter a lot, and we're willing to make sure that we support them in any way that we can. And I think that's what we need to hold on to, is all of these people. These are business owners. These are people that have bought into the city of Wichita and the state of Kansas. These are changers. These are shakers and movers in our community. These people are the people that we need to hold on to and bring with us as we continue to try to change the landscape around here. Not the people who are standing on corners beating us over the head with Bibles or anything like that. It's these folks who value us in every way that we can. So from my heart, because I've spent my life fighting for this community, in this community, fighting for this community since I was born. That was before dirt, so, you know, I've been here a long time. And so I am grateful. I'm grateful to each and every one of you. I know the hours that you spent cooking and having tomato sauce all over you and all over the floor, and how you get it off the pans after so many hours. I get it, and I'm grateful to you. So thank you. Thank you so much.
And Jackie, when you get the actual check, I was just told this morning that there's been another 500 donated this morning. So we're up to almost 13,000. So all we need is $100 more to hit that 13,000. So I'm looking at all you. Just $100 more, you know, and we can get 13,000. That's pretty good. Anyway, yes. Another 1,050 coming? There we go. We're at 13,000. Thank you, Ann. Wow. Okay. Oh, it's so exciting. That really, I know when you do other fundraisers, 13,000 doesn't sound like a lot. I know there's organizations that will raise a lot more than that, but you know what? 13,000 is a heck of a lot of money. And it makes a statement. That's the important thing. So now for our next big announcement. We have the Center of Wichita. And so Brent is going to come forward, and Jackie, you get to come up again and accept another check, okay? And here's the right over there. There we go.
All right. How much was it? Oh, 15. All right. I would like to. Apologies. Oh, I have to hold. Okay.
It's too big.
We do pictures. Okay, now we're good. Jackie, we are so grateful to be able to provide you with these funds, because we have kids in our youth group who have been going to this camp for years, and we love being able to give back to that. So we hope so much that this helps it to continue for several years to come, and we look forward to it being even bigger next year.
Thank you so much. Is this part of Stephanie Mott's grant?
Yes.
I thought that. I just wanted to make sure that, you know, so when Camp Sunflower got started, Stephanie Mott and I and Carolyn, the three of us, walked together in a pride parade.
Yep.
And talked about how we could envision a camp that would be safe for our kids to gather at, and at the same time, how would we protect our counselors so that people wouldn't see them as abusers and look at them as we were trying to groom children in some way. And so it took all of us in thinking outside the box about ways that we could create opportunities for our children, our kids, our young people, and at the same time protect and make sure that we had adequate staff who were properly trained, appropriately trained in risk management, how we could put all of that together to create this space. And it took all of us. It took Stephanie and me and Carolyn and all of you, you know, who through the years, and then when we approached Finn about being our camp director, I'm not sure he was really knew we were serious. He soon learned how serious we were. Right.
What? And it was only 18 kids, so it's fine.
Right. We only have to worry about 10 parents saying something wrong.
We dangled the carrot and didn't let it go.
And now we've grown so much, and Brent, you know, it's because of your work. It's because of the work that the center does, the work that these community communities do. It's all of us together that have created this space for our youth so that they can be encouraged and nourished and led and trained on how to go out into the world and be productive people and world changers like you. So thank you.
And to know that someone cares.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so we started out with a grand total of $27,400, but this morning we've added $1,500. So that, if my math is right, $28,900, right? $28,900 will be the final amount that will be given. Did I do that right? I'm looking at the accountants in here. There was a 500 and there was 1,000. Oh, 1,050. Oh, okay, 28,950. We only need 50 more bucks now. Okay, who's got 50 bucks in their pocket? Come on, folks. We need 50. I've got a checkbook. I'm going to write a check for $50 this morning. All right, I've got my checkbook with me. So we will hit $29,000. All right, so all we need is another 1,000 and we hit 30,000. Come on. This can do it. You can do that. All right, that sounds like an auction, doesn't it? Anyway, well, that is really exciting. And I want to tell you that I just got word this morning, just a few minutes ago from Calvary, they have agreed to host us again next year. So we will be at Calvary next year. And we already have the date set, but I can't remember what it is. I'm looking here at Carmen and Lisa because you guys have really better memories than me. Cheryl, good for you, Cheryl. Okay, April 26, 2025 will be the next spaghetti dinner fundraiser. So put that on your calendars now, everybody. And we got a big target to make next year, big target. But anyway, having said all that, I'm going to ask Finn to come on up and kind of close us out and whatever comments that he would like to make.
I do remember that first meeting that we ever had back in 2017. I was like, yeah, I'll help you out, but just this first year. We see how that went. Well, thank you so much for those generous donations and for all of your support of the Spaghetti Dinner and of Camp Sunflower over the years, and for being here to connect to and to support the work that Camp Sunflower is doing here in just a few weeks, actually, when our next summer camp is. Since 2017, we've worked to make a space where LGBT youth grow in their skills in leadership and advocacy and engage with other creative youth from across the region. But it's also a place where these kids can just be kids, hopefully with the wider world at a little bit more of a distance than it is for just a few days. It's not a secret to our kids that this world is working against them most of the time. Moments like this press conference are a small but important reminder that even here in Kansas, where gay and trans kids are under increasing attack from reactionary lawmakers, we have allies committed to our movement and committed to our identities. And this matters. This matters because the situation for queer kids is increasingly dangerous. Rates of suicide and self-harm are staggering for LGBT youth. Those rates for trans youth and youth of color are even higher than for their cisgender and white peers. Over half of all queer kids who want to access mental health services are not able to do so. And state lawmakers across the country, and especially in Kansas and Oklahoma, are targeting queer youth. Sports bans, anti-diversity legislation, bans on gender-affirming care, bans on gender-expansive classifications for legal documents, and more. I'm so proud of the work that we do here at Camp Sunflower and the community that we create. That's because I know that the best way to get a world where all of our kids have a place to thrive is by creating it, especially in those places where that world isn't guaranteed. The funds donated by our friends at Pine Valley and the center, and by so many other people in faith communities and around Wichita and the state, literally help our kids get to camp. About 75% of our campers every year need a full or partial scholarship in order to attend camp. Without community support, we would not have been able to go from about 15 campers and just about as many staff in year one to nearly 100 campers this summer. And that's not even 10 years after we started as an organization. The impact of Camp Sunflower on these 100 kids goes far beyond each individual camper. When kids come to Camp Sunflower, they get a vision of a world that they can take back to their own families and to their friends and to their communities. They see how they can live in this world with all of its difficulties and opportunities. And when they go back home, they know just a little bit more about how to create that same space for themselves out in the real world. One kid, one family, one summer, one camp at a time. We're moving the story from one of struggle to one that affirms and celebrates each of these humans for all that they are and for all that they will become. On behalf of all of us at Camp Sunflower, thank you so much for your continued generous support of all of our campers this year and of all of the campers that we'll meet in years to come. Thank you very much.
It really is an exciting time. It really is, and it's going to get better, folks. It's going to get better. So that actually concludes the formal part, and so if there are any questions, or anyone else wants to make a comment, this is your chance. Your 15 seconds, don't they talk about, or something like that? So if there are any questions or comments from anybody, why, we'd be glad to respond or have people say something if they'd like to. Yes? Sure. Okay. So we'll do that. I'm also going to get a picture of the planning committee up here too before we leave. So yes, go for it.
So, having been born and raised around the city of Wichita and not really knowing what this layout would look like as an adult, I am so excited to go from an area where we don't talk about it to an area where we celebrate it. This spaghetti feed is 100% the world to me. 115-year-old recipe that we get to share with the community. Feed them and love them. And show the kids they have a place to go. Thank you all for coming. I look forward to more gallons of spaghetti sauce next year. I can't thank you all enough for all that you do and for bringing this community together for the kids that we have.
So if we could have the two of you and the two of you up here and hold the checks up, and let's get a picture. That's a good photo op, all right? All of you together. All together. All of you together. So however you want to spread out in front here. So get your check, yeah, however you want to do it. Maybe Finn and Jeff, yeah.
Okay, who wants what?
There you go.
Which one's that? Oh, okay. This one's ours? Okay. We'll do this. Okay, now we can. Okay.
Well, thank you all. We invite you to hang around and visit or whatever, but thank you all for coming in today. Thanks.
Oh, there's bingo Friday night, if anybody still has money and you want to play bingo, and you'd like to be in a bar.
That's right.
That's right, I should have said that.
There's bingo at Rhonda's place for Camp Sunflower. It starts at 7:30. Call and get a reservation because it is limited seating, but it's outside and inside, so smoking outside, no smoking inside, but tickets go back. Bingo everywhere.
Bingo everywhere, yeah.
Lots of prizes. And some of them